So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now as you can see, this is yet another video of Motivational Mondays. Now usually in Motivational Mondays, I try to take some problems that we face in our life and try to find out the solutions for those problems the motivational way. Now as of this week's topic, we are going to focus about knowing your self-worth. Now if you are up for some weekly motivation, then please make sure to give a like to the video and subscribe to the channel. Now without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Now, usually proving to yourself that you are worthy is a greater task than proving to others about your own worth. Well, why do I say so? Well, if you want to prove your own worth to yourself, then many questions will arise in your mind. Well, questions like, why did I even take this task? Should I even do this task? Or should I ask someone else to do this task? Or many other questions like those will arise in your mind, which will try to demotivate you and will make you avoid taking the very first step towards that task. Well, such questions will arise in your mind, and how do I deal with those questions? Now, in today's video, we are going to discuss about exactly that. But before moving on, why is this video even about self-worth? Well, what is self-worth? Well, self-worth can be considered as your weapon or as your tool towards dealing your insecurities and also to avoid all the negative thoughts that you have on yourself. Well, what is the definition or what is the meaning of self-worth? It is knowing about your own worth in any particular situation and how much can you contribute in that particular situation. But what will happen if you know your self-worth? Well, knowing your self-worth can lead to many different things. It can also help you to know yourself in a better way. It can also help you to stop underestimating yourself, and it can also help you to accept yourself as who you are. You can also stop demotivating yourself and also avoid all the negative thoughts that you have inside your mind, and it can also boost your self-confidence, self-esteem, and in turn you can also improve your self-worth. Well, that is a lot of self-worths. Now, you know why is it important to know your own self-worth? Because it can do multiple things to you. Now, we just saw how important knowing your self-worth is and what can it do to your life. Well, there will be a short clip played which will emphasize on this week's topic, which is knowing your self-worth. Now watch that video and enjoy.
Story time.
Once in a village, there lived a farmer and his wife. They made a living out of their own cattle and vegetables farm. He used to sell whatever vegetable he grew in the nearby market and lived with the money they made. The farmer used to fetch water from the nearby lake every day for his vegetable farm using two of his pots. One pot was good and could hold full capacity of water, whereas the other pot had a crack in it, due to which half the water from the pot used to leak on the way from the lake to his home. Hence, it could not make the full capacity. This happened every day. One day, the good pot said to the cracked pot,
Hey, I'm perfect and I help my master, always giving full capacity of water. But you are a burden to the master, as your capacity is half of mine.
Yeah, I feel very bad as well. I'm sad because of my inability. I'm handicapped because of the crack in me, and I'm not able to give my best to my master.
Anyway, both the pots did their job, but the cracked pot always felt useless as he could not give the maximum capacity. Days passed. Once there was a situation when the farmer could not grow more vegetables due to harsh weather condition. The farmer was very worried. He could not make money out of farming, and he told his wife about the same.
I'm worried. I'm unable to make money out of farming and wonder how will we make our ends meet with the little savings that we have. It would take some more days to grow vegetables.
Oh, you need not worry about the money. I have saved money for rest of the season.
On hearing this, the farmer was very surprised.
How come did you save this much money?
On the way towards the lake, I could find many flowers blooming daily. So I used to collect them and sell it in the market every day and made money out of it.
Listening to this, The farmer thought that the lane in which the farmer used to go to fetch water used to be a dry land. But because of the cracked pot, the water that leaked from the pot helped the dry land to turn green, and in turn it could bloom colorful flowers. The farmer had never thought about it earlier, but now realized that it was all because of the cracked one. At this moment, the farmer felt happy and said that even the cracked pot had contributed to him during the most difficult times. The cracked pot was very happy, and the good pot realized how he underestimated the worth of the cracked pot.
So the moral of the story is your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth.
Now, as of the story, we learned how important it was to know your self-worth. Now, there are specific stages and some steps that you have to follow in order to know your worth or in order to know your self-worth. Well, the steps are stage number 1, which is self-understanding. Well, in this first stage, you try to understand more things about yourself. You will try to place some trust on yourself. You try to understand more things about yourself. You will know more about yourself. Now, after you have tried to understand yourself and try to understand your feelings, now answer this question. What if suddenly everything was taken away from you? Now, if you can answer that question, then you will know your exact worth and your value. Now, after you have accomplished this particular stage, here comes the stage number 2. Well, in stage number 2, it is going to be self-acceptance. Now, in this stage, in the previous stage, you have already dealt with your understanding of yourself. Now, in this stage, you are going to deal with the acceptance. Accept who you are. Now, in this stage, you are going to place your whole of your trust on yourself and you are going to accept who you are as you are. Now, after you have accepted yourself comes the third stage. Now, this third stage is very important and it is the stage of self-love. Now, why is this stage very important? Well, as of this stage, you are going to place more trust on yourself. You are going to show some kindness towards yourself and you are going to love yourself. Now, in the previous stages, you got a better understanding of yourself. You have trusted yourself in a better manner. You have accepted yourself as who you are. Now, in this stage, you are going to love yourself, show some kindness to yourself, trust more on yourself and show yourself that you are the only one who can achieve these things. Now, after you have achieved this stage, you will start to avoid all the negative thoughts that are running in your mind and move on to the positive side. Now, if you have followed along until all the stages that I have mentioned before, then here comes the last stage, which is the responsibility stage. Now, you have understood more things about yourself, you place so much trust on yourself, you love yourself, you accept yourself as who you are. Now comes the responsibility. Now, as of this stage, you are going to think that you are the only person responsible for what is happening in your life. No excuses, no blaming it on yourself and no blaming it on others. Well, you are the person who is driving the vehicle called life and you have to drive it on your own responsibility. Well, where you drive it completely depends on your own matter or your own thoughts, and where you are going to reach is your path to success. Now, let us see a scenario where we can apply these stages as to knowing your self-worth. Well, let us take the scenario of giving an examination or preparing for an exam. Now, we can start by applying the stage 1, which is the self-understanding. Now, the stage 1 is where you try to know about how much you know for that exam or how much you understand for that exam. Now, apply the stage 2, where it is a stage of acceptance. Now, you have to accept as to how much you know for that exam and no excuses is to be made. Now, you have to tell to yourself that I only know this much for that exam and I have to prepare so much to appear for that particular exam. Now comes the stage 3. You should not blame yourself that you only know this much for the exam and you have to prepare so much which is left. You have to show some love to yourself and treat yourself with kindness so that you don't go into any other stressful situation in order to prepare for the same exam. Now comes the stage 4, which is the responsibility stage. Now you have to take the responsibility to prepare for that exam and not make any excuses to avoid that exam. So that ends this week's video. But before ending the video, I would like to say that always remember your own self-worth and try to remain positive. Now, that ends this week's video, and if you like the type of content that I provide, then please make sure to leave a like to the video and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated whenever I post a new video. Now until then, see you guys in the next video. See you guys!